Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Bao and I'm a Viper Sports Medicine Senior Athletic Trainer at the 433rd Training Squadron. The purpose of this video is to serve as a tool for MTIs to learn how to teach and perform CIT and strength PT exercises. Understanding and promoting correct and proper form is a key component to injury prevention. Together, I know we will continue to develop strong and healthy warriors. Arm rotations. Starting position. The exercise start position is standing with your feet hip width apart and arms parallel to the ground with your palms facing down. Look ahead throughout the exercise. Start the rotations on the command begin by rotating your arms forward in circular motion, starting with small circles and gradually increasing to large circles. After 10 repetitions, reverse direction starting with small circles and gradually increasing to large circles for 10 repetitions.
Begin!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Verse!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jumping jacks. Starting position. Start at a standing position with your hands at your sides and feet together. On the count of 1, slightly bend your knees and push through the balls of your feet, jumping just high enough for your feet to clear the ground. Spread your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Simultaneously, raise your hands up in an arching motion smoothly until your hands meet above your head without clapping. On the count of 2, return to the starting position by jumping slightly into the air and reversing the movement. On the count of 3, repeat count 1. On the count of 4, repeat count 2, and the flight will sound off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is a jumping jack.
Jumping jack.
Exercise position, run up.
Ready?
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
For jumping jacks, make sure the trainee's arms are straight the entire duration and that they're going above their head. Windmill. Starting position. Start by standing with the feet slightly wider than hip width apart and toes pointed forward. Raise the arms to be fully extended out from the sides at shoulder height like a T. On the count of 1, bring the right hand down towards the left foot by rotating and lowering at the shoulders, while simultaneously bending at the waist. Allow the right knee to bend naturally while keeping both legs and the left arm straight. On the count of 2, return to the starting position. On the count of 3, bring the left hand down towards the right foot by rotating and lowering at the shoulders while simultaneously bending at the waist. Allow the left knee to bend naturally while keeping both legs and the right arm straight. On the 4th count, return to the starting position and the flight will sound off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise are the windmills.
Windmills.
Exercise position, run up.
Ready?
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
Just one thing to note about the windmill. Make sure the trainee is hinging at the hips when they're going down and not rounding at the back. Calf raise. Starting position. Start at a standing position with hands on your hips, feet hip width apart. On the command up, simultaneously raise both heels off of the ground by pressing through the balls of the feet. The flight will then respond with a number of repetitions while lowering the heels back to the ground.
The next exercise is the calf raise.
Calf raise.
Exercise position, run up.
Ready?
Begin. Up,
1,
up,
2,
up.
3.
Forward lunge. Starting position. Start by standing with feet hip width apart and hands on the hips. On the count of 1, take a large while not excessive step forward with the left foot. On the count of 2, bend the back knee to lower the hips down towards the ground without allowing the knee to make contact with the ground. Ensure the front knee does not go past the front toes in this portion of the movement. On the count of 3, raise back up. On the count of 4, step back with the left foot to return to the starting position. On the 4th count, the flight will sound off with a number of repetitions. Repeat on opposite leg.
The next exercise is the forward lunge.
Forward lunge.
Exercise position, run up.
Ready.
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
For the forward lunge, make sure the trainee's knee does not go past their toes and that they're staying in an upright tall position without slouching forward. Side lunge, starting position. The exercise start position begins at a standing position with your feet together. Make a fist with one hand and place inside palm of other hand at chest level. On the count of 1, take a large while not excessive step to the left side with the left foot. Bring the hips back and bend the left knee to lower the body. Keep the right leg and back straight. On the count of 2, hold. On the count of 3, hold. On the 4th count, pushing off with your left foot, return to the standing position. The flight will sound off with a number of repetitions. Alternate lunges on left and right until you have completed 3 lunges on each side. Keep your posture tall and back straight.
The next exercise is a side lunge.
Side lunge.
Exercise position, run up.
Ready.
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
For the side lunge, similar to the forward lunge, ensure the trainee's knee does not go past their toes and that they're staying in an upright tall position for the entire duration of the exercise. Squat, starting position. Start by standing with the feet positioned slightly wider than hip width with toes pointed straight or slightly outwards. Raise arms straight out in front of you with palms facing down. On the count of 1, move the hips back while bending the knees and lowering the hips until the thigh is near parallel to the ground. Keep chest up and keep knees wide and in line with toes. Arms remain straight out in front with palms facing down. On the count of 2, raise hips. Return to starting position. Arms remain straight out in front with palms facing down. On the count of 3, repeat count 1. On the 4th count, repeat count 2. The flight will sound off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is the squat.
Squat.
Position exercise, run up.
Ready.
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3,
1, 2, 3.
4.
Just a couple of things to look out for. Again, as usual, make sure that the knees do not go past the toes as much as possible and that the shins are slightly parallel. Also, making sure that the trainee is not bent forward as they're doing a squat. Walkouts, starting position. Start at a standing position with your arms at your sides and feet hip width apart. On the command down, hinge at the hips to bring the hands closer to the ground. When flexibility prevents hands from reaching the ground, bend slightly at the knees to make contact with the ground in front of the feet. Walk the hands forward until the body is in a straight line in a high plank position. On the command up, reverse the movement by walking the hands backwards and standing all the way up. Flight will sound off with a number of repetitions upon returning to the standing position.
The next exercise are the walkouts.
Walkouts.
Exercise position, run up.
Ready.
Begin. Down. Up.
1,
Down. Up.
2,
Down. Up.
3.
For the walkouts, instructors, it is encouraged to prompt the trainee to keep a cadence in their head as they're doing the walkout portion of this exercise. For example, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4. Also, ensuring that the trainee is in a push-up or plank position at the end of the exercise. Butt kicks. Starting position. Stand with feet hip width apart. Bend the arms near 90 degrees, similar to a jogging position. Begin by slightly raising the left knee off of the ground. Bend the knee to raise the left heel up towards the top of the hamstrings or bottom of the gluteus. Use the right toes to push off of the ground. Use the same technique to transition the right heel up while landing gently on the toes of the left foot. Perform this exercise in place. Allow arms and shoulders to move naturally as they would while jogging. Continue for the specified duration of time.
The next exercise are the butt kicks.
Butt kicks.
Exercise position, run up.
Ready.
Begin. Up.
Russian twist. Starting position. Sit on the ground with your knees bent near 90 degrees and one leg crossed over the other. Lean back so your torso is at a 45-degree angle, ensuring that the spine is straight and not rounded. Clasp the hands together in front of your chest near the bottom of your rib cage. Begin by rotating your upper torso to the left side. Return to center at the starting position and rotate your upper torso to the right. Rotation should occur at the shoulders. The knees may move side to side slightly to counter. Repeat the movement for the specified duration of time. Things to look out for here. Make sure the trainee is moving left, middle, left, middle, right. In addition, making sure that they are following their hands as they turn their shoulders. Frog jumps. Starting position. Start with feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Cross one hand over the other in front of the body with fingers pointing to the ground. Begin by dropping the hips back and lowering the body so thighs are parallel to the ground. If able, touch the tips of the fingers to the ground in the bottom position. Keep the chest up and tall throughout the exercise and keep the knees wide and in line with the toes. Jump into the air and reach both hands overhead. Land gently and return to the starting position. Repeat the movement for a specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the frog jumps.
Frog jumps.
What is your exercise? Spin up.
Ready.
Begin. Jump.
For the frog jumps, make sure that the trainee's left hand is over the right hand and they're squatting down and releasing the hands when they jump up. Hiccup. Starting position. Start on the ground face up with legs flat and heels on ground. Lay arms flat on the ground out to the sides with palms up. Body should be in the shape of a T. Bend the knees and bring them up towards the chest while bringing the upper body towards the knees so your torso is at a 45-degree angle. Simultaneously move your arms and reach your hands towards your heels. Return to the starting position and repeat for the specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the hiccups.
Hiccups.
What is your exercise? Spin up.
Ready.
Begin. Stop.
For the hiccups, ensure the trainees' palms start out and open up to the sky, and as they go in with their knees bending, they're going to rotate their hands inward. Monster walk. Starting position. Start with knees bent close to 90 degrees and chest up. Hands and fingers are interlaced in front of the chest. Begin by taking one step forward with the left leg while keeping the knees bent close to 90 degrees. Then take one step forward with the right leg while keeping the knees bent close to 90 degrees. Take one step back with the left leg while keeping the knees bent to close to 90 degrees. Then take one step back with the right leg while keeping the knees bent to close to 90 degrees. Maintain a low profile, tall chest, and wide knees. Do not bounce on knees while performing. Continue for specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the monster walk.
Monster walk.
What is your exercise? Spin up.
Ready.
Begin. Stop.
Couple of things to look out for here. Make sure the trainee is keeping a low profile the entire duration of the time. In addition, making sure that it is left step, right step, left step, right step. Break dancer. Starting position. Begin in the push-up position with hands under shoulders and body forming a straight line. Feet should be approximately 12 inches apart. Stand with your left leg and swing it out about 45 degrees to the side without bending your knee. Return leg back to center with feet approximately 12 inches apart. Alternate legs each time. Toe may tap ground if unable to keep your leg in the air during leg extension. Continue to alternate and repeat exercise for specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the break dancers.
Break dancers.
What's your exercise? Put up.
Break.
Big head. Stop.
For the break dancer, make sure the trainee is in push-up position or plank position and that their legs are going straight out to the side, not up and not down. Lateral hops. Starting position. Start with feet shoulder width apart with a slight bend in the knees. Bend the arms at the elbows not to exceed 90 degrees. Begin the movement by hopping to the left. Both feet should leave the ground at the same time. Land gently to the left with both feet making contact with the ground at the same time. Hop to the right with the same movement. Quickly repeat side to side for the specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the lateral hops.
Lateral hops.
What's your exercise? Put up.
Break.
Big head. Stop.
Just a couple cues for this exercise, ensuring that the trainee feet together while they're jumping and also that their elbows are tucked in. Jump ropes. Starting position. Stand with feet hip width apart and allow bent to 90 degrees out to the side of body. Begin the movement by jumping slightly into the air with both feet. Simulate the rotation of a jump rope with the hands while jumping. Emphasize a soft landing on each jump. Repeat for a specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the jump rope.
Jump rope.
What's your exercise? Put up.
Ready.
Big head. Stop.
Reverse crunch. Starting position. Start on back with legs flat and heels on the ground. Place hands underneath hips to create a more stable base. Bend knees and bring them towards your chest until you cannot bring them up any further. Fully extend legs out while keeping heels 6 inches above the ground. Repeat for specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the reverse crunch.
Reverse crunch.
What's your exercise? Put up.
Ready.
Big head. Stop.
For the reverse crunch, make sure the trainee's head is off the ground, hands are behind the hips, as well as the legs are going straight out at least 6 inches above the ground. Frog jacks. Starting position. Stand with feet together and arms relaxed by the sides. Begin by jumping in widening stance to well outside of shoulder width. When landing, bend at hips and knees to move hips back and lower body like a squat. Simultaneously reach down with the left hand to touch the ground in one fluid motion. Right arm will extend slightly back behind body. Jump back to starting position with feet together and hands at sides. The hand touching the ground will alternate with each jump. Ensure your knees are pressed out to be in line with toes when in the down position and your head and chest stay up. Repeat for a specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the front jacks.
Front jacks.
What's your exercise? Put up.
Ready.
Big head. Stop.
Knees to elbows. Starting position. Start laying on the ground face up with legs flat and heels on the ground. Cup hands at the ears and lay elbows flat on the ground. Begin by bending knees and bring them towards your elbows. At the same time, point your elbows towards your knees, raise your shoulders off the ground, and make contact with your knees if possible. Extend legs back out, keeping them 6 inches off the ground while at the same time lowering shoulders back to ground. Repeat exercise for a specified duration of time.
The next exercise is knee to elbows.
Knees to elbows.
Posture your exercise. Right up.
Right up.
Big head. Stop.
For the knees to elbows, trainee starting position is going to be an ear muff position. Their elbows are going to meet the knees halfway, and as their legs extend, their feet must be at least 6 inches above the ground. High plank reach outs. Starting position. Start in push-up position. Now lower your hips, Sergeant Prada. Thank you. Begin the movement by fully extending the left arm straight out in front until it is just above the ear. Return the left arm back to the ground and repeat on the right side. Do not allow hips to rotate, arch, or sag. Engage core throughout exercise and repeat for specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the high plank reach out.
High plank reach out.
Posture your exercise. Right up.
Right up.
Big head. Stop.
Things to look out for here. Making sure that the trainee's arms are going directly in front of them, as well as making sure that their hips are not swaying side to side, and that the position that they are in the entire time is a push-up or plank position. Air squats. Starting position. Start by standing with feet slightly wider than hip width and toes pointed straight or slightly outwards. Arms are fully extended parallel to the ground with palms facing the ground. Begin by moving the hips backwards while bending the knees and lowering the hips until the thigh is near parallel to the ground. Raise the hips to stand back up. Keep chest up and tall throughout the exercise. Keep knees wide in line with toes. Repeat for specified duration of time.
The next exercise is the air squats.
Air squats.
Posture your exercise. Right up.
Right.
Big head. Stop.
Things to look out for here. Make sure that the trainee's shoulders are pushed back as so. And as they're lowering their body, making sure that their knees don't pass their toes to the best of their ability. In addition, they're standing upright, up tall the entire duration of the time, and have them visualize sitting back in a chair rather than leaning forward. Butterfly sit-ups. Bend your knees and have the soles of your feet facing one another so it's in a diamond shape. Lay flat on your back with arms extended above your head, palms together. Crunch your abs to a sitting position as you reach forward with both hands to your feet. Slowly lower back to starting position.
The next exercise is the butterfly sit-up.
Butterfly sit-ups.
Posture your exercise. Right up.
Ready.
Big head. Up.
One.
Up.
Two.
Up.
Three.
Glute bridge. Starting position. Lay on your back with knees bent at a 90-degree angle, feet flat on the ground approximately 12 inches apart, and arms at your sides. On the count of 1, raise hips off the ground until shoulders, hips, and knees form a straight line. Squeeze the gluteal muscles. On the count of 2, the hips are lowered back to the ground. On the count of 3, repeat count 1. On the 4th count, repeat count 2, and the flight will sound off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is the glute bridge.
Glute bridge.
Exercise position. Right up.
Ready.
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
For the glute bridge, ensure that the trainee's hips are raising up so that they are forming a straight line with their back. In and out. Starting position. Begin by sitting on the ground with legs bent at 90 degrees and feet hovering slightly off the ground. Lean back and place your hands on the ground slightly to the side and behind your hips, fingertips pointed forward. On the count of 1, extend the legs out and lean back against the hands. Keep heels off the ground. On the count of 2, bring legs back to your chest at the 90-degree angle, keeping heels off the ground. On the count of 3, repeat count 1. On the 4th count, repeat count 2, and the flight will sound off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is the in and out.
In and out.
What's your exercise? Head up.
Ready.
Begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
Couple things to look out for here. Make sure the trainee's feet are at least 6 inches off the ground and that the trainee is kicking out and not up. Superman's starting position. Lay face down with legs fully extended and toes pointed away from body so shoelaces face the ground. Arms are flat on the ground, extended straight out in front of you with palms down. On command, begin. Raise the legs and shoulders as high off the ground as possible, arching the back. Hold exercise for 20 seconds until command stop is given.
The next exercise is the Superman.
Superman.
What's your exercise? Head up.
Ready.
Begin. Stop.
Leg lifts. Starting position. Lay face up on the ground with hands underneath the hips for extra stabilization. On the command, begin. Raise feet at least 6 inches off the ground while keeping lower back pressed against the ground and legs extended. Hold exercise for 20 seconds until command stop is given.
The next exercise is the leg lift.
Leg lift.
Exercise position right up.
Ready.
Begin. Stop.
For the leg lift, ensure that the trainee's head is raised up above the ground and that their feet are at least 6 inches off the ground. Side plank. Starting position. Starting position is on left side, legs extended and propped up on left elbow. Place right hand on right hip. On command, begin. Raise hips up so the body forms a straight line. Hold exercise for 20 seconds until command stop is given. Repeat on right side.
The next exercise is the side plank.
Side plank.
What's your exercise? Head up.
Ready.
Begin. Stop.
2 things to keep an eye out for here. Make sure that the hips are lifted up to form a straight line with the body and that the torso is not twisted over. Heel reaches. Starting position. Lay on ground, face up, bend knees at 90 degrees with feet flat on the ground. Arms are fully extended by the sides of the body. On the count of 1, slightly raise your shoulders off the ground and reach your left hand to your left heel, contracting your core in the process. On the count of 2, lower the shoulders back down and center. On the count of 3, slightly raise your shoulders off the ground and reach your right hand to your right heel, contracting your core in the process. On the 4th count, lower the shoulders back down and center as the flight sounds off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is the heel reaches.
Heel reaches.
What's your exercise? Head up.
Ready.
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
For the heel reaches, make sure the trainee's head is off the ground and that they're going left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, etc. Squat holds. Starting position. Start by standing with feet slightly wider than hip width and toes pointed straight or slightly outwards. Arms are fully extended parallel to the ground with palms facing the ground. On the count of 1, begin by moving the hips backwards while bending the knees and lowering the hips until the thigh is near parallel to the ground. For the counts of 2 and 3, this position is held. On the 4th count, return to the starting position as the flight sounds off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is the squat hold.
Squat hold.
What's your exercise? Head up.
Ready.
Begin.
For this exercise, make sure that the trainees' knees do not cave in and that they are acting like they're sitting back in a chair and they're not hunched over. Push-up. Starting position. Start with hands placed under shoulders and arms fully extended. Avoid hyperextension. Body should be in a straight line. Your weight will be supported by your toes. On the command down, from the starting position, elbows extended, lower your body to the ground by bending at the elbows until your shoulder to elbow are parallel to the ground, 90 degrees. Return to the starting position. Arms fully extended and back straight. Flight sounds off with a number of repetitions. On the command roll, alternate between this exercise and the overhead press. Repetitions will begin at 1. The overhead press starting position. Start by sitting on the ground with legs extended out in front of body and arms extended above head. On the command down, lower the elbows to about shoulder height. Return to starting position. This will be performed in conjunction with the push-ups. Upon hearing the command roll, you will roll to your right and get back into the push-up position described above. Alternate back to the push-up, complete 2 repetitions. Alternate again to the overhead press, complete 2 repetitions, and progress the repetitions in this fashion until 5 to 8 are completed in accordance with week of training. At this point, the exercise continue to alternate while decreasing repetitions, i.e. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The next exercise is the pyramid push-up.
Pyramid push-ups.
What's the exercise? Put up.
Ready?
Big it. Down.
1.
Roll. Down.
1.
Roll. Down.
1.
Down.
2.
Roll. Down.
1.
Down.
2.
Roll. Down.
1.
Down.
2.
Down.
3.
Roll. Down.
1.
Down.
2.
Down.
3.
Roll. Down.
1.
Down.
2.
Roll. Down.
1.
Down.
2.
Roll. Down.
1.
Roll. Down.
1.
Roll.
For the push-ups, ensure that the trainee's hands are at shoulder width apart, not too far out. For the overhead press, ensure that the trainee's legs remain extended the entire time, that their trunk is erect, and that their arms are fully extended above their head, going down to only shoulder height. Fire hydrants. Starting position. Begin with hands and knees on the ground. Hands should be placed under shoulders and feet should be positioned so laces are towards ground. On the count 1, raise left knee to side of body while maintaining a 90-degree bend at the knee. Raise leg as high as possible while keeping the hips and shoulders stable. On the count of 2, lower left leg back down, return to starting position. On the count of 3, repeat count 1. On the 4th count, repeat count 2. The flight will sound off with a number of repetitions. Complete on the other side when instructed.
The next exercise is the fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant.
What's the exercise? Put up.
Ready?
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1.
1, 2, 3.
2.
1, 2, 3.
3.
A couple things to look for the fire hydrant. Make sure the trainee's torso is not twisting and turning. Also, make sure that the leg is going straight out and not back. Prone row. Starting position. Lay face down with arms extended overhead resting on the ground and legs extended with feet placed approximately 12 inches apart. Shoelaces should be towards the ground. On the command up, bend your elbows and pull them towards your body, squeezing your shoulder blades. At the same time, arch your back and raise your chest off the ground as high as possible. This should be a controlled movement and not a sudden jerk of the body. Keep your toes on the ground throughout the movement. Return body to starting position. The flight will sound off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is the prone row.
Prone row.
What's the exercise? Put up.
Ready?
Begin. Up.
1.
Up.
2,
up,
3,
For the prone row, make sure that the trainee's shoulder blades are being squeezed together on the up position. Also, ensure that the trainee's feet are remaining on the ground for the duration of the entire exercise. High plank, low plank. Starting position. Starting position is the push-up or high plank position. On the count of 1, move your left arm so your left forearm is resting on the ground. On the count of 2, move your right arm so your right forearm is resting on the ground. On the count of 3, move your left arm so it is fully extended with your left palm on the ground. On the 4th count, move your right arm so it is fully extended with your right palm on the ground. You should be back in the starting position and the fight will sound off with a number of repetitions. Prevent hips from rotating side to side and keep core engaged throughout movement. Repeat with right side, leading for the second set.
The next exercise is the high plank, low plank.
high plank, low plank.
Position your exercise, right up.
Ready?
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
A few things to look out for here. In any of the exercises that has a starting position at push-up or high plank position, ensure that the trainee is starting in the correct form. Always, make sure hips are down. Begin. For this exercise, ensure that the trainee's hips are not swaying or rotating left or right. Reverse lunge. Starting position. Start by placing your hands on your hips with feet hip width apart and toes pointed forward. On the count of 1, take a large while not excessive step backwards with the left foot. Lower the hips by bending the back knee. Do not allow the front knee to pass the front toes. Hands remain on hips. On the count of 2, push off the ball of left foot and bring left foot back underneath hips and return to starting position. On the count of 3, repeat count 1 with the right foot. On the 4th count, repeat count 2. The fight will sound off with a number of repetitions.
The next exercise is the reverse lunge.
Reverse lunge.
Exercise position right up.
Ready?
Begin. 1, 2, 3.
1,
1, 2, 3.
2,
1, 2, 3.
3.
Triceps stretch. Starting position. Stand with feet hip width apart and arms down at the sides. Raise your left arm, bend your left elbow, and place your left palm in the center of your back at the base of your neck. Use your right hand to apply a small amount of pressure to the back of the left elbow. Return to the starting position and repeat on the opposite side.
The first stretch is the tricep stretch.
Triceps stretch.
Stretch. Relax. Stretch. Stretch.
Quadriceps stretch. Starting position. Stand with feet hip width apart and arms down at the sides. Start by raising the heel of your left foot towards your gluteus. Grab your left foot and hold it so your fingers are touching your shoelaces. Pull your foot towards your gluteus until you feel a stretch in your thigh. Do not lock your supporting leg. Return to the starting position and repeat on the right side.
The next stretch is the quadriceps stretch.
Quadriceps stretch.
Stretch. Relax. Stretch. Stretch.
For the quadriceps stretch, a couple things to keep an eye for. Ensure that the trainee is not bent forwards, trunk is nice and tall. Also, if they're losing balance, they may place their hand on their belly for support. Hip flexor stretch. Starting position. Stand with your hands on your hips, feet hip width apart. Begin by taking one large but not excessive step forward with the left foot. From this position, push the hips forward and bend the front knee. Do not allow the knee to go past the toes. Hold and repeat on the right side. The stretch should be primarily felt in the front of the hip of the back leg.
The next stretch is the hip flexor stretch.
Hip flexor stretch.
Stretch. Relax. Stretch. Stretch.
For the hip flexor stretch, ensure that both trainees' toes are pointing forward. Hamstring stretch. Starting position. Start by standing with feet hip width apart and hand at sides. Begin by hinging at the hips and bending down to the left to allow the shoulders to move forward and touch the left toes. Hold and repeat on the right side. The stretch should be primarily felt in the hamstrings.
The next stretch is the hamstring stretch.
Hamstring stretch.
Stretch. Relax. Stretch. Stretch.
For the hamstring stretch, ensure that the trainee is only hinging at the hips and not at the back. So with the flat back, if they cannot reach their toes, that is okay as long as they're hinging just at the hips. 90 stretch. Starting position. Begin by sitting on the ground with the left leg in front of you, bent at 90 degrees. The right leg will also be bent at a 90-degree angle off to the side and behind you with both knees flat on the ground. Start the stretch by extending both arms and leaning the shoulders down towards the front knee. Maintain square shoulders by not allowing the torso to twist. Hold and repeat on the opposite side. This stretch should be primarily felt in the gluteus muscles.
The next stretch is the 90-90 stretch.
90-90 stretch.
Stretch. Relax. Stretch. Stretch.
The 90-90 stretch is probably the most important stretch to ensure the trainee does properly to avoid injury. The starting position, ma'am, do you mind going back up? Before they extend their arms in front of them, the most important thing the trainee should do is to ensure that both their hips and knees are at 90 degrees, both the front and the back. Until this is achieved, should they bend forward and extend the arms. In doing so, their torso should not be bent to the side or twisting to the side. Calf stretch. Starting position. Starting position is the push-up position with hands underneath the shoulders and body in a straight line. Cross the left foot over the right so the shoelaces of the left foot are resting on the heel of the right. Raise the hips high enough to bring the heel of the right foot off the ground and use the arms to press back onto the toes of the right foot. You may also use the left foot to try to force your right heel to the ground.
The next stretch is the calf stretch.
Calf stretch.
Stretch. Relax. Stretch. Stretch.
For the calf stretch, ensure the trainee's hips are up as it's making a triangle shape. Chest stretch. Starting position. Start by laying face down on the ground with your left arm extended out to shoulder level with your palm face down. Your right arm will be bent at a 90-degree angle with your palm flat on the ground and feet should be approximately 12 inches apart. Rotate your shoulders slightly to allow the right shoulder off the ground. Hold and repeat on the opposite side. The stretch should be felt in the chest and front of the shoulder.
The next stretch is the chest stretch.
Chest stretch.
Stretch. Relax. Stretch.
A few things to note about this stretch. First, ensure that the trainee's head is lifted off the ground. Second, the shoulder that's being stretched needs to remain flat on the ground. Also, arm extended is the advanced version of this stretch. An easier version would be bent at a 90-degree angle at the arm. Figure 4 stretch. Starting position. Start by laying on your back, bend your right leg, making an approximate 90-degree angle. Bring your left foot over the right thigh, placing the ankle just below your knee. With your left hand, reach between the space between your legs. Bring your right hand around the outside of the thigh and interlock your fingers at the back of the thigh. Pull your leg up toward your chest, keeping your back straight and head off the ground.
The next stretch is the figure 4 stretch.
Figure 4 stretch.
Stretch. Relaxed. Stretch. Stretch.
For this stretch, for the first side, it should be grabbing the right leg first with leg crossed over. Also, ensure the trainee's leg is at a 90-degree angle. Groin stretch. Starting position. Start by sitting on the ground. Place the bottoms of your feet together and allow your knees to fall to either side near the ground. Place your hands on your feet. Pull the heels of your feet in close to the groin and lean forward. This stretch should be primarily felt in the groin area.
The next stretch is the groin stretch.
Groin stretch.
Stretch. Relax.
A couple notes about the groin stretch. If the trainee lacks hip mobility and is unable to hinge forward, please hinge forward for me, then you may tell the trainee to have an erect trunk. Now, if they're able to hinge, as Sergeant Hernandez is here, then have them hinge forward into their knees.